The 16th to the September the 18th of this year. The IC3 Church Conference Africa is coming to Cape Town. On the line is Pastor Thando Malane, a voice and a name you know well here on Radio Cape Pulpit, board member of IC3 Africa, also senior pastor of Destined for Greatness Ministries. And if you tuned into Radio Cape Pulpit, you'll hear some of Pastor Malane's sermons. Pastor Malane, good morning. Welcome to breakfast.
Good morning, Brad. Good morning to everyone who's listening everywhere they are listening from.
Pastor Malane, we are all good. And with the IC3 Church Conference coming to Cape Town, and you're part of what's happening behind the scenes, has planning already well underway for the event?
It is. It has been from last year because we start planning and have dates a year before. So we almost pass the halfway now. So the preparations are going very well.
Pastor Malane, who is the IC3 Church Conference for?
The IC3 Church Conference is for every pastor, every pastor's wife, every pastor's husband, every leader in the church. It's basically church leadership, whatever role you are playing as a leader. So everyone who's in church leadership is being invited today.
So this isn't denominational. This is just leaders everywhere of every kind come and be filled.
Yeah, this is interdenominational. Every leader in every church. We even in the board of IC3, you have board members from various denominations.
Pastor Malane, what happens at the conference? You're calling all the leaders to come. What can they expect, and what can the experience be like for them?
The conference is meant for leaders to recalibrate, reflect, learn, make decisions, and network. So there's a lot that is happening with church leadership. There's a lot that we have to navigate and put up with as pastors. And so there are very few places where you can sit as a pastor and be ministered at. There's a few places where you can interact with other pastors, share ideas, see what God is doing in other pastors and through other pastors, through other church leaders. And so IC3 is that rich conference which does not focus on one specific things, but it focuses on a number of things that are affecting pastors, pastors' wives, pastors' husbands, and even leaders.
What are some of the conversations that will be had? Because I had a look on the Facebook page, Pastor Malane, and there are people speaking, sharing on different topics. They're not only South Africans, they're coming from all over the place. So what are some of the topics and discussions that are going to take place during that conference?
Yeah, there are people who are coming from various parts of the world who are coming to have an input and also receive. And we are blessed that everyone is coming to Cape Town. Now, we deal with different things. For example, there will be a plenary session where there will be a word that is ministered. Then there's a session which seems to be a favorite for everyone who goes to IC3, which is called Story Time. Story Time basically is the story, the good, the bad, and the ugly of pastors who have been in ministries for many, many years. Some of them have retired. And so they tell how they got into ministry, What were the problems that they encountered? Where did they miss the mark? What mistakes did they commit? Because most of the times we don't have those particular people who open up themselves and become vulnerable to us. And how did they overcome those mistakes? And what are some of them that are lingering on right now? And so you have that, and then you have electives, you have workshops in the afternoon, or after that you have workshops. They range from growing your financial base as a church, running a youth ministry that is vibrant. You have a workshop on pastors' wives, because these are the people who never have a defined job description.
Yeah.
And we speak less about them. You have workshops on pastors' wives. How do you deal with this beast of being a pastor's wife? Then you have women who are pastors. You have workshops for women who are not pastors' wives, but they are in ministry. They are pastoring churches. You have workshops on how do you better your preaching. You have workshops on leadership. You have workshops on bivocational, those pastors that are on full-time job also. How do you juggle the two? How do you juggle the two? Dealing with AI, how do you get the most of AI? How do you become more effective online? Because people, we are in that we are necessarily in that period now. There's no need to deny it. But how do we get the best out of it? And so you have various topics that are relevant to the church, and not only to the church, but to pastors and church leaders. That's why we encourage pastors not to come alone, but to come with their church leaders, because it becomes richer when you have your church leaders. You've got something that you can go and reflect on and see how do you grow vis-a-vis coming alone and you are the only person who's excited in the room or in your church.
Yeah, that's the voice of Pastor Thando Malani. He's a board member of IC3. Pastor Malani, the stuff you've been sharing this morning, I'm sure leaders everywhere are saying, we need that. So church leaders need to register. How do they go about registering so they do not miss out on what's going down on the 16th to the 18th of September?
If you want to register, you can go to IC3 Africa Church Conference, www.IC3 Africa Church Conference.co.za, or you can phone or WhatsApp this number 062 292 2689, 062 292 2689. You surely get us there, or go on Facebook, IC3 Africa, IC3 Africa. You will get us there.
And what is the cost of the conference?
The cost will be $750 for the 3 days per person.
Wow.
It has already been subsidized because it costs more. It's $750 per person for all 3 days, lunch included.
Wow, what a great deal. If you consider all that Pastor Malani has said is going to be taking place on those 3 days with all of those topics. And so bring your church leaders. I just want to say I went to the Facebook page of IC3 Africa. You find it easily on Facebook page, the IC3 Church Conference. I was there so I could see how everything worked. And I went to www.IC3, that's the number 3, IC3 Africa Church Conference.co.za. And that works as well and gives you all that information. So I checked that out yesterday. Everything is there and ready for you. Do not miss out on that. That's at the Gospel. It's the Gospel Rama Church. That's on 370 Main Road Observatory. That's Gospel Rama Church, 370 Main Road Observatory, here in Cape Town, the 16th to the 18th of September, from 8 in the morning till 4 in the afternoon. 3 jam-packed days, meals included, for just 750 Rand per person. Wow, Pastor Malani, that's a great deal. So our listeners mustn't miss out on that. That's a great deal. I hope that they fill that church. I know you're looking forward to seeing a full church.
Yeah, we're looking for that.
That's the voice of Pastor Thando Malani. He's a board member of IC3 Africa, also senior pastor of Destined for Greatness Ministry. Pastor Malani, we'll see you again shortly. Thanks for your time this morning. Have a really great Thursday.
Brett, thank you very much for helping us and being the face